For months, the entire photography world has been locked in a massive debate, staring at an empty space in Nikon's lineup where a legend should be, whispering about a camera that many fear might completely rewrite the rules or never arrive at all. Because while everyone has been distracted by the blistering speed of the Z8 and the flagship dominance of the Z9, a quiet panic has been brewing behind closed doors in Tokyo, a panic centered entirely on the long-awaited, heavily delayed, and fiercely debated Nikon Z7 III. If you look at the landscape of modern digital photography right now, you realize something fascinating is happening. The camera market is splitting straight down the middle, separating the speed demons from the resolution kings, and right in the crosshairs of this evolution sits the ghost of a camera that thousands of professional landscape, studio, and commercial photographers are desperately waiting for, even as rumors fly wild, delays stretch on, and insiders argue whether Nikon is completely redesigning their high-resolution strategy or hesitating out of sheer fear of cannibalizing their own massive successes. Think about it for a second. Why has the Z7 III become the most controversial, heavily discussed missing puzzle piece in the entire mirrorless ecosystem? Is it because Nikon dropped the ball, or is it because they are quietly engineering something so disruptive, so pixel-dense, and so surgically tailored to counter Sony and Canon that a premature release would have blown up their own product roadmap? Today, we are diving deep into the massive mystery of the Nikon Z7 III, dissecting the leaked sensor specs, the brutal truth about the delays, the market pressures from the Sony A7 R series, and whether waiting for this camera is the smartest move you can make or a total waste of time. So lock in, because once you hear what is actually happening behind the scenes, you will never look at Nikon the same way again. To understand why the Z7 III carries this insane amount of weight, we have to look back at the legacy it is trying to surpass, because the Nikon Z7 II was a phenomenal tool for its time, a studio and landscape powerhouse boasting a 45.7 megapixel back-illuminated sensor that captured staggering detail and achieved that legendary base ISO 64 clarity that landscape shooters fell completely in love with. But time moves brutally fast in the tech world, and photography standards shifted underneath Nikon's feet. While the Z7 II gave you incredible dynamic range and color depth, it launched in an era before advanced deep learning autofocus algorithms took over the industry, before creators demanded ultra-bright multi-axis tilting screens, and crucially, before competitors like Sony dropped heavy hitters like the A7 RV packing massive resolution bumps. For years, the Z7 series occupied a very specific throne for photographers who prioritized pure image fidelity, tonal graduation, and microscopic detail over rapid-fire sports tracking or heavy video hybrids. But photography has changed, and modern shooters expect a high-resolution body to also feature cutting-edge processing power, flawless subject tracking autofocus, and modern workflow connectivity. When Nikon rolled out the Z6 III, featuring an entirely new partial stack sensor architecture and blistering processing capabilities via the X engine, it sent a shockwave through the community, immediately raising the ultimate question. If the